Mission Rose 960th and the review. This time we have the Batman Arkham Knight DC Collectibles Professor Big figure. Alright, so the packaging is really nice. I am a big fan of the Arkham Knight packaging. Definitely much better than any of the other Arkham Knight or Arkham figure line, so really happy about that. I love the fact that they all have their own kind of color scheme, and then they do have blueprint pictures of the characters. As you can see, we can see Professor Pig there, as well as you can see him on the back, and the rest of the figures in this assortment. Red Hood isn't out yet, but the other three did come out. I did pick up Man Bat, and I've either reviewed him or my review's going up pretty soon on him. I think I'm going to post his review first, though, so you should have, so this video should already be up. Azrael, I'm not going to get at the moment. I think, I saw him in stores. He looked cool, but I did decide not to pick him up right at the moment. I think eventually I'll get that figure, though. I still have to think about it a bit, but it does look pretty cool. I did pick this figure up at Toy Anxiety. All right. Let's go over the actual figure here, starting off with this head sculpt. And this was something that I was really pleased about. I wasn't expecting to get a Professor Pig face sculpt. I thought that the pig mask was just going to be a part of the face. I didn't think that it was actually going to be removable, which is really cool. Definitely something that none of the preview pictures showed us, or that him at any of the conventions, he always had the pig mask on. So I am pretty happy and surprised that we do get an actual head sculpt of the character. Obviously very unique looking. I don't quite know this guy's story. I have played his side mission in Arkham Knight, although I haven't finished it. I had trouble finding the last victim, so I still haven't even finished it yet. But I don't quite know his story, but he does look really neat. Obviously has big lips and kind of a puffy cheeks there. Really love the thin eyebrows and him looking up. The eyes are painted extremely well. They look completely even and everything, and he does look quite creepy in general. Hair is sculpted and painted really nicely, as you can see. And then I do like the fact that the ball jointed neck is actually at the bottom and it's not at the top, which is surprising, but it completely hides the joint and looks really great. And he does have a nice range of motion, which is really cool. The costume itself is really good. As you can see, some excellent detail in the on the sleeves that are kind of really pushed up quite far, so there's an extreme amount of wrinkles, which looks really good. And then you can see his arms there, as well as the yellow gloves. Yellow gloves look really nice, and just in general look wonderful. The thing I don't like about this figure is the fact that both of his hands have the circle kind of holes on the hands meant for holding the butcher knife. So he holds it really nicely, but it is strange that both of the hands are like this. I would have much preferred like this hand to just be a regular fist, and then this one to actually be meant for holding the butcher knife, because it is a shame that the other side has to look the same as the other one, even though there's no knife or anything. If he came with like two knives or something, then it would make sense, but since he only has one, I'd be fine if they just sculpted one of the arms to actually hold it. The apron is really nice. It is actually see-through, which is very cool, and it's very much a see-through, so you can totally see through it. It's not like something that's meant to be see-through, but it's quite blurry, but you can actually see through it quite well, which is really cool. And I definitely like that a lot. And there's some excellent sculpting in there, and it does go on the back in a crisscross type of formation. And you can see more of that detail in the costume there. Excellent paint on this guy. He does have a white for the base shirt, but it does have yellow washed into it. And then, of course, a bunch of blood stains all over the apron and gloves. But what's really nice is they do have some blood stains on this shoulder. It would have been really weird if it was only his apron and his gloves that had the stains. So I am glad that they have at least some part of his costume, his undershirt basically, that does have the stain. So that's very nice. He does have a little bow tie there. It's very small. I have seen somebody do a custom one where they actually had a real fabric one. It just looked too big, but it would have been nice if they did have a larger bow tie and have it not be so small and just basically just painted, it almost looks like. So it would have been nice to get a better version of that, but it does still look very good. Pants are sculpted really nicely, and his legs, and he does have, these are either Crocs or slippers. I'm not quite sure. I think they're slippers. I don't know though, but they do look really good, and of course they're smothered in blood as well. It is kind of weird that certain portions of him have the blood, because there's obviously blood on both of his shoes but none on his legs. Same thing on his gloves but none on his arms. So I would have liked a little bit more consistency with that. However, like I said, doing it on this shoulder does help it blend in together, so it doesn't look so kind of odd that the blood is only in some places. Articulation on him is very good. I've talked about the head. He does have really nice range, can look up quite far, can look down a slight bit, and can also tilt his head, which is most important to give him that creepy type of look, so I'm very happy about that. Ball hinge shoulders, hinge swivel elbows, swivel hinge at the wrist, and the hinge works really nicely. You can get a decent amount of range with that, which is good. He has a swivel at the thigh, or sorry, swivel at the waist, and then he has ball jointed thigh with a hinge swivel knee. The hinge doesn't hinge that far, but this character isn't really meant for dynamic poses, I have to say, so I don't mind the somewhat lack of super dynamic posability in the knees there. He has a swivel at the top of his leg there, his calf, kind of, where the pants touch the actual skin. And was super surprising to me is he actually has a ankle pivot. Super just crazy surprising. Wouldn't have expected it in a million years. But as you can see, they do have a pivot where the slippers meet the foot, which is super cool. It's a very unique type of joint. I haven't really seen a figure that has like slippers on that can do an ankle pivot. That's pretty amazing. So that's something that I definitely commend DC Collectibles for adding in. Super unnecessary yet so welcome. So I am very happy about that. His butcher knife, talking about the accessories now, does look quite good. It's got a nice, wonderful silver. It's very straight too. It was packaged really well in the package, so it didn't get bent or warped at all, which is nice. And it does have those little silver holes on the side of the handle, which give it that realistic look. He comes with two masks. One mask, I believe this is what he puts on his victims. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't played his story arc in a while on Arkham Knight, so I can't remember 100%, but I believe this is what he puts on his victims. It does look really cool, and it does have some almost like skin color on it, which I don't know what that's from, but it looks good. It gives it a dynamic look to it, and it does have kind of a real strap there, which is really nice because you can put it on whoever you want and it'll fit, you know. With the pig one, they did actually just have a rubber strap, so it's kind of meant for his head, but that other one, being that it's just it's kind of like a stretchy material, it can really fit on any figure you want, so that's cool. Well, first off, you can actually put it on Professor Pig, although I don't think he actually like wears this, just to show you how it looks. It doesn't fit on his face very flat, and it's really hard to see his eyes, but you can, as you can see, his hair kind of makes it, or stops it from actually being flush on his face, but you can see it does kind of look neat. I can see his eyes in just actually looking at the figure, but I don't think it's coming across on camera. But the main one that's actually meant for this figure is, of course, the pig mask. Alright, you kind of have to put the back on and you can slide it down. Very nice. As you can see, fits on the back of his head quite well, and it looks really good on the figure. You can see his eyes very clearly, and it comes across really nicely. And you can still see his kind of puffed up lips and everything too, so you do still get the detail of the face even when he is wearing the pig helmet, or pig mask. Really neat looking figure, definitely very creepy in its design, however I think that it just looks awesome, and this figure actually was much better than I was expecting. I wasn't expecting anything amazing, I didn't think it would be a bad figure or anything, just I didn't expect it to be that great, and it looks so wonderful, and the articulation is so nice, and in some places like the ankle is very surprising too, so I am happy about that. Comparison here he is with the Arkham City Batman, as well as a figure from the past wave, Gordon. As you can see, he is a decent figure, or size-wise, he's a decent size. He's about as tall as Gordon, and then he is much bulkier, being he's kind of a bulky character there. So you are getting your money's worth with the plastic, as well as it does come with 3 accessories, which is quite nice. So this is an excellent figure. I think that a lot of people are going to skip it because the character isn't very big. This is actually Professor Pig's first ever figure, not just from Arkham or anything. This is the character's first representation in plastic, which is really cool. And it is something that they did actually mention in the description of this figure, so I am happy that they do recognize that and are kind of boasting it as a unique factor of it. So I really do like the fact that this is an original character. Obviously he is in Batman's lore, but this is an original figure to the Arkham series, considering there isn't another Professor Pig at the moment. So very cool. Definitely like this figure a lot. Not the best in its wave, and that's purely because this is a really strong wave. We have Man-Bat, which is an excellent figure. It's very big and it doesn't cost any more than this regular figure. So Man-Bat I would consider to be the best of this wave. wave. However, this Professor Pig is excellent, and I would consider it better than a lot of the figures from the past wave too. And the past wave was really strong as well. So definitely, the Arkham toy line is really stepping up its game, giving us fantastic figures, and I am very much excited for the next one that's coming out, which is Poison Ivy. Won't be for like till August until she's out, but that should be a good figure as well. Excellent figure, not a really well-known character, however, so I do think this one might get neglected by collectors. However, if you are willing to give this character a shot, the figure won't disappoint you. So there you go, that's my review of the Arkham Batman Knight, the Batman Arkham Knight Professor Pig. Thanks so much for watching.